What's your call again? UZI?
Hey, what the hell are you talking about? I gave you my call 3 times already, and it's not even 10 minutes.
No, okay. I'm not Carl Sagan, you freaking movie. I don't know any, I mean, what the?
You don't have a pen?
I do, it's a Sharpie, but I don't use it for writing, I use it for smelling.
Yeah, no, pencil, pen, finger paint, anything you need, Dick.
I picked a bad day to quit sniffing glue.
Oh, well. Okay, I'm done messing with you. Like I said, I was just testing. I'm going to go back up to 20 meters. Have fun, Dick. Take care. N1 Delta Radio Seer right outside of Boston. Good evening, sir.
That's DRZ. DRZ.
DRS, you dyslexic son of a gun.
But no worries. Don't remember the S. I can now remember it since now I can, here's the thing, gentlemen. If you use the suffix, if you have a, my amp's making a weird noise. Speaking Chinese also.
Come on, we all prayed for this. Keep talking.
Otra vacancia serata la bronte. Serata carnice.
Samarete scumbriete Jeff Colega.
Good Lord, man. I'm cursing. Hey, let me ask you a question before you go.
Okay.
What's your QTH? Over?
I'm located here in South Weymouth, about 15 miles south of Boston.
But you don't have the accent.
I do. I just know how to curve it, I can get on here and be like, hey, how you doing, buddy?
What, did I talk to you about the combat zone back in like 1985?
You have, yes. And I think 1985 and, the combat zone, red light, yeah, all that. When I was a kid, I think we discussed it. Sure, but you're probably about 50 years older than me. So at that time, I remember it being there, but, it wasn't like my parents did field trips there.
All right. I tell you what, I won't hold it. I know you're trying to, you're trying to disengage and get back up to 20 meters. So, WQWRX Scott, thank you very much. DRZ, or DRL. See, I did it again.
Yeah, no worries, Dick. Take care. Good evening, everybody on frequency. Like I said, I just stop by once in a while to say hi to you because I find you somewhat amusing. Not in a funny way. Kind of like a Special Olympics way.
It's like finding hieroglyphs in your basement and you don't know who put them there. Yeah, I got it, man. Look, take it from Dick. I get it. Huh?
Take care, man. Stay well and healthy, sir. N1 TRSQSY. Bye-bye.
I got orthopedic shoes, bro. Orthopedic shoes. Let me tell you something. And never mind. Take care. Who was that? Does anybody know who that guy was? Have I ever spoke with him before? I'm checking my logbook. I don't.
Well, put it in as DRZ because you're dyslexic and everything else. You probably logged me wrong.
That's it, man. I just DI. You're absolutely, you're smarter than your own. Okay. All right. So this guy he's a genius. He's like Spock. I did. I blocked him as bed. I'm out of here. You take care. Oh God, I've uploaded the logbook of the world. Man, I'm sorry, bro. Some of the ham radio is there's a lot of there's a lot of syncrasies, whatever they. You've got to really focus when you're operating logging programs and the folks that you are in QSO with, because a lot of these folks, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know if this is AI. I'm not sure what they're doing, but just verify the people you're talking to, and don't give them any personal information. W3WRX. You know what? You got a big mouth. Uh-huh. Hide behind the microphone, young man. WCWX. I don't mean to threaten anybody, but that guy, I don't know who he is. I can barely hear him. I don't know. I'm just lashing out. I don't know why. It just seems the thing to do. Can you say, wait a minute. If I stop doing what? Over? Meth and, okay. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know if I did 40. I'm an ID anyway. W3WRX 40. I'm not able to hear you, sir. Can you put a log on the fire? W3WRX requesting a power increase. Can you increase your pay? Over. Stop. You don't yell. Okay. Don't yell, man. Okay. Yeah. Here's the thing. W3WRX. Band's in bad shape, gentlemen. There's no sunspots. Apparently the spots are on, I don't know where they went. Where you been, man? You must be, would you go to Florida or something? W3WRX trying to make contact with Burn 1.
181 Hound Lake on it. But it's, this is my, I don't know, what do you call it, my nostalgia station. So I swap radios out here, everything from my tubers to my Kenwood collection. And I just wanted a little bit more play. And then I see the road interface, and I'm thinking, you know, that would be pretty cool. Put the Julius stuff in with that, and I have more knobs and buttons and play pretties. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the Julius stuff, like I said, it's nice, but you know, you limit just trying to get to 4K is almost impossible. I mean, but you can make any ICOM or any of those radios sound good, but if you want to really get out there, it's just not capable, unfortunately. But I keep it, you know, it's great for like the 7300s and stuff like that. I keep it around. You know, I bought them new, and Julius has always been good. I never had a problem with them, but yeah, you know, once you kind of go to rack stuff, there's no going back to Julius stuff there, are?
Yeah, I've got to start getting into that. And I have a DSP 100 that I modified last year, and an 850 that it plugs into for ESSB. The radio wasn't finished yet. I probably got another 4 or 5 hours to go on that. The surface mount stuff takes me a while. But yeah, once that's done, I need some decent rack gear for that, because that's going out, well, hell, anywhere from I think 14, 16K on AM, and I could take it out to 10 on sideband. It should run around 6 though.
Yeah, 6 to 8 would be ideal. It would be ideal. That DSP, man, I tried to get my hands on one of those for many years. I could never get one in decent shape. They were always beaten to hell. So I just went software defined and just, you know, went a different route. But now they're all over the place. Everybody's trying to get rid of them now for like crazy money, and it's kind of funny. They waited too long, man. They waited too long, there, Robert.
Absolutely. Yeah, I paid big cash for that. I think it paid almost $600 for it about 4 years ago. And then it had, you know, it was clean. Nobody touched it. No switches, not holes or any of that kind of crap. Made sure it worked. And then they had to put the audio transformer in it, the quarter-inch funnel plug in the back. And since I do that for a living, you know, you can't tell that from OEM unless you really know what you're looking for. And then there was a few resistors, caps, and stuff that needed to be changed around to give me the full audio. And yeah, it's a fun project. And Voodoo Labs does a really good job of you know, giving you the data you need to do it with. I'd love to have my 950 done up, but nah, I think I'll keep this stock forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, in the heyday, it would have been worth it. Now it's just not worth it. You know, I'd rather have one stock than all jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody, well, the community itself with the ESSB, everybody's out of that now. There's probably still a few poking around, but for the most part, I'd rather have one non-molested, Daryl.
Yeah, or the second TS-850, or yeah, the 850s. I got an 870 and I had the 850. I take it out field days and say it's fully loaded, and I didn't want to, you know, voodoo that one. So I bought another one off a guy in Massachusetts, and it was sweet. I mean, he came with the box. He probably had, you know, a couple thousand hours on it, but it was pristine. So I brought that home. And, of course, there's like about 8 to 10 component surface mount that has to be taken off and changed out and all that. I got to the point I got the skirts off, but then I got in the amplifiers on the bench, and now I was like, yeah, that one's on the back burner. But like you said, the heyday's done. But some of the boys like to play on AM with it. And you know, I can go out, you know, 15, 16, 18K on AM with rack gear, and it'll sound pretty good even with a, you know, like a regular radio instead of these tube monstrosities. And either way, I'm going to run it on my Henry amp.
Yeah, you know, I jump on with AM, you know, the AM guys here and there, but, you know, I like listening to them. I just can't talk for 45 minutes. I just can't do it. I don't have nothing to say, and I got to work on that, I guess. But they're fun to listen to and all that stuff. But I'll get up there and man, they can really go. I'm like, I doze off in my chair, I wake up, the guy's still talking.
I don't know if you've ever done that, but I've touched down on the bench when I was, or on the table over there talking, and woke up a couple hours later and the conversation was still going. They didn't even know I slept for, took a nap. Yeah. And, Carl, he gets, when they still say all these little, enunciations and some of the stuff that goes on, colloquialisms, and you hear that over and over and over. That's when I tune it out. But that's just another mode, Every day another mode. Most of the time we're here on this one, or a lot of times I'll even go down to 200 and munch around with the boys down here when I really want to play. But I'm going to go. I do have an SBR receiver that goes into my Kenwood TS590 SG. Carl helped me set that up. I loaded up mega programs and everything that all the stuff that you can do with it and download, but it still needs to be worked as far as the timing goes. I guess that's an issue. I've got to set some computer settings to match software settings, so on and so forth. I think I'm going to get a Hermes 450 Lite this year and start playing with that. I might even have to buy another laptop. You never know.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. And the price of those, I think they're going to be coming down once they start cranking out I guess they're cranking out another batch of the Anon 10Es here. So every time they come out, everybody that has the Hermes are going to be selling them off. So you could probably get one for like, $200. So that's a pretty good deal there.
I did just for ha-has. What's the 10E going to go for?
Right now it's, I could have got mine, I think. I could have got one. I was one of the first ones on the list, so it came up and I thought about it and I said, I don't want to waste this money right now. After everything's said and done, I think it was like $800 with shipping and all that craziness. It's probably going to go up because of the tariffs, but it all depends on the tariffs for what's going on with them and where they're shipping them, where they're making them, and so on and so on. But right now, it's probably going to be upwards of $800. So it's like $200 or $300 more than what the Hermes cost, but it does 20 watts. It has 6 meters. It's already pre-built. It has everything already done, pre-distortion and all that, all the checks. So I would guess it would be worth it. Plus, it's a better build there.
Yeah, I was looking at, 450, 460 for a Hermes, but the 10Es, I didn't even know they were still making them. I saw there was a batch out there floating around, but, under $1,000, that's a great buy, yeah. Plus, you got 6 meters, and I do like playing there every once. So that's why I have a 7851. Paid $14,000 for that, but 200 watt output to drive big amps. I'm not really so inclined. I've had some decent amps here. Don't get me wrong. The last one I had was that SPE 1.5 KFA, but it did not like trailing or leading edge spikes from my ICOMs. Man, that amp did not get along or play with my ICOMs. So I said, well, put it on the Kenwoods. I put it on some tubers, and I finally said, no, I have not spent $6,000 for an amp that I just, I can only use it on half my equipment. So I shucked it out and went right back to tubes. I did look at the Mercury 3s. That seems like a pretty nice amp. Now they're starting to pop up like candy all over the place too.
Yeah, they're popping up. I got the Lux, and I had the 10E. The 10, whatever the hell they call that thing. the Mark III there from Mercury too, but I sold that one off. So I kept the Lux, but I'm running a VK amp right now, so it's pretty much the Lux on crack. It's 8 LD Mosses instead of 2, and like I said, it's a lot bigger heat sink. I love it. It's got the coupler, remotable, all that good stuff. And the 10E, it's a different 10E. It's a revised one, so it's I think it's 14 bits. It's totally done over there. Over.
Excellent. Yeah, and there's enough people that run them that can help me with the settings if I get in a crazy mode. I do like to play and explore. I mean, why do this if you don't? You know, and I've twisted my knickers a time or two. But always seem to get it right. And I watch everybody else play the same way. How many times you see Richie in here, you know, oh, I did this or I did that. Oops. And then he's spending 3 or 4 days getting it back to rights. Yeah, and I see Brian picked up on this. He's got the bricks. And I'm thinking, yeah, I want to do something a little different with the 10E, man. I love that. I love that line anyway, but I think who's it? I forget the other guy that has a lot of this stuff. Maybe it was Scott or somebody else had some of the online, and I was like, "Jeez, that's nice stuff." I mean, you know, of course, the 8500E, and then he had went out and traded that with the M so that he could use the Maestro, and I'm like, man, you could really spend some money there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy another Flex. I really wouldn't. I mean, yeah, I got the 66 and I got the 64, and I'll probably keep those for a little bit longer. I'm probably going to bang out the 66, sell that off, take the loss, and eventually replace out the 64. But I won't buy anything else from Flex again. I don't care if they come out with a golden unicorn. They can stick it up their rear end. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it is what it is. If you're looking for something basic that's remotable, that's never going to change, and then that's what you want. But you know, these 86 guys, like I said, they're not getting shit. They'll figure it out. It'll take a couple years, and I'll still be saying the same thing. And but you know, they got their fan base, just like Anon has their fan base. I don't base anything. I mean, I base it on their customer service, and I'm not happy.
I almost pissed myself. I had a half a mouthful of coffee, dude. That wasn't even right. Your flaming endorsement. No, I feel you, man. I usually don't buy I don't buy the brand. I go out and I look for something to do what I want it to do, and then it goes back out, you know, different miles. Tell if I was going to buy a decent amp, I won't even play with the toys you guys are getting. I'd go get me an OM4. I'll sit here with about 7K in reserve. Yeah, I mean, I like big amps, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, so don't I. I got a lot of amps and all that stuff. But you know, like I said, I don't have no one to blame. I don't blame them. I blame myself. You know, years ago, my buddy Dave, W1KB, he's like, never buy potential. And I've learned my lesson, man. Let me turn that up a little bit. So, I don't blame them. And now I got to buy something else to get that. I'm like, and those guys are still waiting for pure signal and everything else, and they get it with 100 watts. Who the hell runs 100 watts? And then they coming out with this crappy radio at 500 watts in it. You know, don't get me. See, why are you gonna get me started, man? I was in a good mood.
LNDRS KC2HTV. Yeah, you are. Well, just like 3.5 years ago, I bought a radio for $14,800. And it took about maybe
14 grand.
Well, it was almost 11 months before I got it.
Crazy.
And then I ordered that SBE amplifier. That took almost a year to get at $6,700. I get them home, man. I'm happier than a pig in poo. I've got my station now, my retirement station. this is a primary thing. So I fire it all up, and the amp goes, like, no. Then, you know, I do some phone, I played, and I it's phone calls and everything. Come to find out, this boy down in Texas was running it at the time. Now, he would have did it, but he wanted me to send everything to him, and he would have to take and rewrite certain strings of code and play with it. And he said, you know, it would take 11 months to a year. And I was like, oh no. Out the door. That amp didn't last too long after that, brother. And the taste in my mouth, gotta lick my own honey, get rid of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, it's a small community for customer service and stuff like that. So I mean, you can only screw over some. The income to drop on something, and if it's bad. The income to drop on something, and if it's bad. They're talking trash. The income to drop on something, and if it's bad. They're talking trash. The income.
Yepper, special. There's a bunch of them in that category. I like listening to them and just think,
I was laughing last year. I was laughing last year when they came out. I told these dummies, I said, hey, watch, I'll guarantee next year they'll come on out with a new radio. And sure enough, they did. And next year they'll still be hiking and promising. It's you know, and they'll come out with little advancements, but it's going to cost. They're nickel chasers, man. They're just going to keep on trying to get you to pay for software that's never going to be half as good as the open source stuff. And it is what it is. I'm not mad. I just made up my mind. I mean, thank you, baby.
Well, wait.
And like I said, you can, you know, people can spend their money, but I just ain't spending mine. They're over.
100%. I agree with you 100%, but I mean, half the companies out there now that do high end, let's go with Elecraft, you buy the Mark IV Pro Plus or whatever you want to spend in that direction, and you're getting a radio that only half the written software works. The other half isn't.
I'll tell you about that, tell you what. Yeah, just go roofing around in the yard, yep. Getting all kinds of stuff ready for. We are probably going to go camping next week, so we'll be going.
Equipment is, you know, everybody's a know-it-all, and most of them don't know their app.
You say the guys that write skins aren't famous?
I'm saying, like you said, you're gonna like things I like, or you're gonna like things I don't like, and vice versa, and that's okay. We can be different. But you know, when you get people out, you know, like I said, if you buy it, you know, all you're doing is throwing your money out the window. If you want, you know, you don't believe me, buy both of my radios.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not looking really to get crazy anymore. I'm going to have to retire here pretty soon, I think the next few years, but yeah, I definitely want to take a deeper dive. Now I know the 10E's around, I'll give that a shot. Hell, at that cost, that cigar, even if I did get hurt on it, it wouldn't make it past circular file. These old Kenwoods over there, same thing. I'm not sending them, back out, get them realigned. I could do all the check work on them, but I can't align them anymore and just send them out. It ain't worth it. That's a circular file. Drop that at the Hamfest and lost it down bin.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like with the Anon, for example, I knew when I bought it, I was going to get zero support, and it was, you weren't expecting anything. They're not selling you anything. They're just selling you hardware. And, if that guy, Rich, over in England there, if he stopped stop updating Thetis, I'm happy with it the way it is right now. I'm happy with it. You know what I mean? Now, I've spent, in theory, probably 15,000 less on the Anon than I did buying all my Flex stuff, and I got shit to show for it.
Yeah, man, you mentioned something I hate, and that's called the revision game. I've played with a lot. I had an electronic shop, brother. I did computers for many years. I've been around since computers were GPI sloop pots, but I withdrew from it for a while, and then I'm looking at everybody, except for open source stuff, everybody thinks that I'll just give you Ham Radio Deluxe. I started doing beta for them back in, I think, 2010. And, it was done over in, I think it was in Denmark or just outside of Denmark.
That'll probably be the next one that I send down the road.
M3E, yeah, exactly. That's kind of the point I got to, is like a couple of them had sat for a while, hadn't done anything really with them. Now, they were older, I had a couple of Sandcast 750s that every once in a while I'd pull one out and go to a bike night or something with. And, I had a couple of generations of the Honda 750s. And a couple other bikes, and then, I don't know, it was probably 5 or 6 years ago when I don't remember what bike I bought. I think I bought my FJR. And that's when it's like, I did nothing but ride my FJR for a year or two, and I was like, all right, now, the wife is right. It's time for them to start going. But when they're sitting here and there's so much dust built up on them because I haven't touched them, as I get, it's definitely time to thin the herd out a little bit.
So you had a lot of these people, and their families didn't want them, so they ended up on the street. And they started procreating. And now, this is a result, this population that we have now, is a result of what has come from the 60s. You know, it's just a shame. That's not entirely true. I mean, I was watching an episode of Cops the other day, and it showed this guy driving with a girl in the passenger seat and a girl in the back seat. And he asked them who these people were, and he told them. And the girl in the back seat actually owned the car. And he said it was his niece. And, you know, upon further investigation, it turns out that these two have been living together and living, you know, as a married couple, even though they weren't married. And they're related. Yep. Yep. You know, I don't know. This world just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Yeah, I watch Cops once in a while. Cops is a good show. You know what's a funny show? It's sad, but it's funny, and it's sad at the same time. Cheaters. Yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes of that.
Over to you, James, KE3DSM.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.